What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Monday Night Raw review. A little bit late tonight on this one. I felt like I've had to juggle at least two reviews tonight between the Wrestle Kingdom review and the Raw review. I couldn't really tell which one I should do first, so it's best I do the, you know, Wrestle Kingdom one, which should be uploaded sooner or later whenever I get done with this review and whatnot, because Raw was honestly up and down on this Legends night, I should say. I guess we got to bring back Legends to draw a rating, and this is the first show, well, first Monday Night Raw of the year. So, what can really change after last year's very bad year, some would say, huh? With this Legends night, we do kick it off though with Miz and Morrison for Miz TV segment as they try to do some Legends impressions and whatnot. Miz, he considers himself a legend and that he is still, the Money in the Bank winner and whatnot since he has his briefcase back, which he did announce that the New Day would be the guest for tonight's show. Um, as they talked about, we have our own show. We got New Day Talks. You should check that out. And Woods is he's like the band leader of the show. But Miz says, shouldn't you be working on how you're gonna bomb on G4 when that comes back? As Woods said, I got a badge. At least we have a bailiff. Where's your bailiff? You don't have a bailiff, huh? Huh? Where's your bailiff for this show? Because we're not here to pull off silly resolutions or whatnot. We're here to do our own show and whatnot. As Kingston said, which legend would they like to go to dinner with and everything. As Miz said, this interview has gone on long enough because, Morrison tried to say, I'd like to go to dinner with this person. But, as Woods played the trombone and everything, it's the cooking portion of the show. And, this Miz TV segment's going all over the place. Then next thing you know, we get Teddy Long, holla, 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 player. First legend of the night, I say, Miz and Morrison. Tonight, you will go one-on-one with The Undertaker. I don't care what anybody says. That is still fun to say. But Adam Pearce said, I guess basically to say, the Undertaker is, quote unquote retired right now for a second. I was like, Undertaker showing up tonight? And then he went on to say that, Miz and Morrison, you will be in a tag team match against the New Day. That is still fun to say. I don't care what anybody says, but Teddy Long come out saying, you will go one-on-one with the Undertaker. You'll be a tag team match. That whole one-on-one with that. It's not SmackDown, but it's close enough. The tag match itself, though, was okay. I will say that Miz and Morrison, basically Woods and I said New Day getting the win. Woods doing a big knee to Morrison's face for the win and whatnot. So match was okay. They pretty much talked about what happened last week with the whole Orton and Bliss. I'm surprised that wasn't even the first thing, part of this show he would talk about. You don't think we would talk about someone getting burned alive or quote unquote burned alive last week and don't even know what happened. I don't know why they wouldn't start that off, which they actually did go to Orton's interview then, talking about Bliss, and he says he couldn't do it. And, voices in his head tell him to do it, but, it's about the Fiend. And he showed Bliss, mercy, and now he hates himself for it. But, he has no boundaries and whatnot. So there's a lot of legends here tonight. And he's going to remind them why he is the legend killer. So, if they want to have Randy do something to get over tonight, you got all these legends around. Since Randy wants to set everything on fire and everything, he can go around and set the legends on fire. Okay, just set them on fire, set them ablaze, and we'll see more people burn alive on this show. So, if you want to burn people, let's do that. Garza was in the back, which apparently he won that 24/7 title at the New Year's Eve party the other night. And he went off to show the title to people to Alicia Fox, which I've seen a lot of people debate, and several people on this show that they debate about of who is a legend and who's not a legend. Because I saw people talk about Alicia Fox saying she's not a legend and everything, and I wouldn't really consider her to be a legend. Don't get me wrong; she's had a long tenure in the company and whatnot. And the only reason why they've kind of taken her off of TV, I think, is mostly due to I know she's had a problem with alcohol and everything, and I think that's probably why they took it off because we did hear like a lot of more. I don't know if she was like drunk, but it was like a house show at one point that she was intoxicated and they didn't send her out there, and I think that's why they fired Arn Anderson for it. But Alicia Fox has kind of had her problems. Don't get me wrong; she's done stuff in this company. I know some, she has accolades. Some have pointed on the internet. She's been the first Black Divas champion. Some say, part of the whole revolution thing and whatnot. So I don't know, man. But then you gotta look at people who they're supposed to have on here, like Carlito and what the Boogeyman and others. Would you consider them legends and whatnot? If you're not gonna consider Alicia Fox a legend, because I'm like, when did she become a legend and everything? I said that at the Raw reunion thing about a year ago. I'm like, when did Alicia Fox become a legend? I could have swore she was part of the current roster. So apparently she's a legend. And I guess Mickey James now also, even though she's part of the current roster too, which Garza went up like to her, Sergeant Slaughter, and to Tonka, which Garza, who gave Mickey James a rose, that's his new thing nowadays. She just gives every woman a rose now. But I could have swore she was a current roster, but I guess she's not. I think, I don't know, but it's hard to see who's considered a legend, who's not considered a legend right now in the show. So it's kind of strange. AJ Styles wanted Elias again. I don't know why I see this match again with AJ Styles and Elias, which wasn't a bad match, and it ended up with AJ getting the Styles clash for the win. But Gunner there tried to come in with a guitar, but AJ's giant bodyguard Osmos there ended up exploding the guitar by kicking it. It looked like he kicked the guitar, and it just blew up all over the place. So he scared off Gunner and them, which that did look cool. I will try to say. So they've been trying to get this thing over with AJ and Amos. I don't know why they're in this feud with Elias and Gunner there, even though both of these guys are heels, but people just like AJ so much, so they're not going to turn on AJ, okay? So there you go. Matt Riddle was talking, what's he talking to? He was talking to a Big Show in the back, I don't know, calling the Big Bro and everything about his match tonight. Big Show, basically, say a lot of ideas until Orton came in, talking about, I took you out of RKO and a punt kick, and Big Show say, and then, he told Big Show, how does it feel knowing that your career is over? Big Show says he can compete right now, but, Orton took on his neck, and, basically Big Show looked at him, he sat down and says, I'm not here to do this tonight. And Orton told Show you don't have the guts to introduce yourself to a legend killer, okay? As he left the segment then. Next, we got Charlotte and Ric Flair coming out. Basically both were out there as, Charlotte and Asuka getting ready for a tag match against Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. I don't really know still how that's a team all the way. It's kind of funny. They break up the Iconics to put Peyton Royce in another team. So it's kind of strange. And, Lacey's got a hat called Lacey the Legend now. Now, I have no idea what's really going on here in this because, okay, there's several points where they show Lacey Evans kind of imitating Flair, and Flair's looking on, and Charlotte gets pissed, and then, ends up, just attacking Lacey Evans then. I guess they said she was getting too friendly with her, or friendly with him, and, Lacey Evans, I guess she's trying to, flirt with Ric Flair, and Charlotte ended up kicking her out of the ring, and, Charlotte, she's in the ring with Peyton Royce, and, when Charlotte goes off the ropes, Ric Flair turns on Charlotte for some reason, grabs her foot so Peyton Royce can get the win. And I don't know what Lacey Evans kissed Ric Flair in the cheek, and Charlotte just went up and looked at her dad and said, "Stay out of my business," and basically told him to get out. So who's the heel here in this? When you think about it, okay, because all right, Charlotte. We've seen this many times before where she just yells and berates Ric Flair all the time, just yells at her dad and tells him to get out several times. But, yeah, I guess she's the face, but I don't know. So wouldn't Rick be the heel then? Because he just kind of betrayed his own kid. But then Charlotte's yelling at him, so then he kind of gets sympathy. And what, Lacey Evans apparently wants to ride Space Mountain or something? Or I don't know what's going on because I look at Rick, pulling Charlotte's leg, and all I can think of saying is, you never turn your back on the dirtiest player in the game, basically. So, I don't really know where that's going. Like I said, I guess Lacey Evans wants to ride Space Mountain or something. Hey, man, it's like you said, like, hey, oldest ride, longest line. Okay, oldest ride, longest line, folks. So, don't really know where that's going, okay? Next, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. We're talking about Drew's match tonight against Keith Lee. Until Hulk Hogan, and Jimmy Hart showed up. Basically, Hogan says he's Sheamus' #1 fan, and he's happy to run into McIntyre, and he was excited for his title match. as Hogan says, you've been training, saying prayers, vitamins, and Drew went on to say that, and Drew thanked them after Hogan said all that stuff, and Hogan said that McIntyre reminds him of himself, and Drew, he says, the mouth of the south of Ireland, what he called the mouth of the south of Ireland, and Sheamus says no one didn't think that was funny, and as Hogan, he said, I got one question for you, as McIntyre went on and says, what you gonna do when Claymore Country runs wild on you? Let me say this, okay? And I saw an article about this. I don't think people don't even really want to see Hogan on TV for obvious reasons. Which I know it's trying to get Drew over, but I can just see people looking at home just don't want to see it. And I saw this thing today where it was some interview, and I guess we're talking about Hogan, and I guess he talked about how that a lot of the younger wrestlers in the back are really cold on him nowadays, and the reason why I guess he believes that they're cold on him when he's at WWE events now, he believes that he feels like he's gonna steal the main event from them because he acts like they just look at him like he's gonna steal the main event. Here's the reason. The reason why a lot of younger talent and mostly a lot of people in the back are cold on Hogan is because of the racist stuff, and nobody don't fuck with you because of that. Okay, so I don't know what he's talking about when he say like he's trying to steal the main event and why they're cold on him. That's just Hogan's ego talking as usual. But yeah, that's why people don't fuck with you. Okay, it's because of that racist shit. So there's a reason why I usually say fuck Hulk Hogan every time he comes up on this show. Okay, and listen, I'm not gonna go into detail. You already know how I feel about that. I spoke about it in many videos in the past, and you already know what I feel about that. It's just I remember I had the question someone dude said, "Oh, you still haven't forgiven him?" Forgive him for what, motherfucker? This dude, what? He gave out that bullshit apology and whatnot. Like, come on, man. The dude was already protecting his own ass, and he already knew it. Come on, Hogan is a pathological liar, anyways. It's just politics, so you cannot really believe anything he says. I just think that's why I just look at when people say you haven't forgiven him. Like, dude, I don't have to forgive him anything, man. The dude did what he did, and yeah, it's basically unforgivable. Okay, so fuck the dude. All right, but it's just like I said, Hogan just continues to bury himself every time he gets. So I just think it's funny when he said like, "Oh, the talent is cold on him in the back," and he thinks that people trying to steal his main event. They just don't fuck with you. That's the thing, because of the racist shit. So that's why they cold on you. There's a reason behind that. Okay, there's a real big reason behind that. But moving on, Bobby Lashley when he gets Matt Riddle. Um, Basically, the match was okay. I'll say that. But the strange thing was the finish. Okay, the referee gets distracted, and MVP's on the apron, and Riddle did tap out, but then Lashley thought he won, but Riddle rolled him up, and it's kind of strange. Also, is that okay? Bobby Lashley, they've made dominant for a very long time while he was U.S. champion, and the guy's been killing Jeff Hardy every week. Now he just kind of lost to a fluke win to Matt Riddle now. So apparently they got the champions losing on their show tonight. You got the tag champs, the women's tag champs losing, and now you got Bobby Lashley losing to Matt Riddle out of nowhere, which I'm assuming Riddle will get a title shot most likely at the Royal Rumble or something. But yeah, though I find it very strange. They got the champions losing on this show tonight. Like I said, especially when you've made Lashley look very powerful and strong, and since he's been champion, so very odd. Next, we got Mark Henry, who was on a scooter, I guess, to get around on a bad leg. I guess he has an injury right now. And Ricochet was talking to him, thanking him for the advice. But, Randy Orton walked up on him and, telling him I'm in the Royal Rumble match and asking if Mark Henry would do the same. But then he says, oh, it looks like you're having a problem right now. Must be due to all the wear and tear over the years. And I said, how fast that scooter go? Because is it going to get you away from me, kicking your ass, get away from his ass, as Mark Henry said. But Orton says, let's talk about the days when you were the world's strongest man and you hit me with the world's strongest slam, do your little Hall of Pain thing and whatnot. And I should be getting a lot of receipts on you right now. So, it's Legends Night, but I'm going to give you a pass. So why don't you just pedal your ass away up out of here right now, get out, and don't ever come back. So Orton just talking down the Legends all night. Lashley and MVP were pissed off about the whole Matt Riddle thing. Lashley said he's going to tap him out and punish his punk ass. Shayna Baszler, well, Mandy Rose was supposed to face Shayna Baszler, but Baszler took it out. And then Dana Brooke faced Shayna Baszler, and good God, why is Dana Brooke even pinning? I already thought it was odd enough that that match went on too long last week between Dana Brooke and Shayna Baszler, but the fact that Baszler put her in the careful clutch and then Brooke rolled her up and Baszler went back to, just beating her up again, that made, I didn't even know there was a pin, so I, I, this, that makes no sense. And then, she gets kind of attacked by both Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, so I don't know. Like they were trying to make Baze into a badass, but then she's losing to Dana Brooke. That does her no favors. It does her no favors. Okay. Next, Ric Flair, Mike Rotunda, IRS there, and Molly Holly were in the back until Randy Orton showed up, talking about Flair again, and he said when let Flair screw up his match, like you screwed up your own kid's match, and that she's better than you. As Rick says, listen, man, I'm not gonna walk with you over there again. I believed you at one point, man. I wanted you to break my record, evolution, all that stuff. And they start arguing. Then who's the dirtiest player in the game? As Orton said, like, listen, man. Yeah, you taught me everything I know, everything. Okay, but you may look like Ric Flair and talk like him, but you're just some pathetic old man. So yeah, we had Charlotte and Randy Orton talking down to Ric Flair. Okay, we already seen with Randy for months now, and he splinter celled him in Big Show when he came through with night vision goggles and everything. Talk about punk kick to the head. Dude, you pretty much did splinter cell on the guy. Okay. Now we're talking down. I don't know where they're going with this Ric Flair. Unless Ric Flair is going to get some help or somebody to, I don't know what, go against Charlotte and Randy Orton. I don't know, because the whole talk down to Ric Flair making him cry thing really gets old after a while. And like, can we have this guy do something else and just, I don't know, just be Ric Flair instead of playing this sympathetic? I have to be woe was me, just get berated every week. I don't get that, and 2 times tonight too. So I don't understand that. Randy Orton went against Jeff Hardy, Clash of Jeff Hardy gear, I should say, which is a very good match, very solid. And of course, Orton mostly going to, like he did about a year or two ago with Jeff Hardy's ears, putting, his hands through those earlobes and whatnot, trying to, just a lot of damage and everything. But it ended up with, Jeff hit him with a whisper in the wind, and Orton hit the DDT when he's going to go for the Swanton. Jeff ended up trying to go for the Twist of Fate, and then Orton dodged it, counter into RKO for the win. Jeff Hardy taking a lot of L's lately, like a lot of L's. Like mostly, I know it's been to Lashley, but this guy's been losing quite a bit of matches. So he's been losing out here a lot. But Orton picking up the win, which you kind of expected. So I don't know if it's going to go on anything else because we haven't really seen them with the Fiend tonight or burning. Just Orton talking about legends, unless he's going to burn one alive, then I don't know. Next, the Lucha House Party was back on the main roster, even though you're on NXT, and Grand Metalik is facing Santos Escobar, I think, for the cruiserweight title this week. But I'm surprised he's back on Raw. They run into Melina. Melina makes a kind of a quick cameo doing a Lucha chant. I'm sure when people see Melina, they want to see the split. Wasn't she supposed to be in this company? It was rumored she was supposed to be here like about a few months ago, and then I don't know if that was sabotage or something, but she was supposed to be coming in the company, if I remember, or returning, and that didn't happen. It's good to see Melina since she's, last time I really saw her was in NWA, so I could have sworn she was supposed to come back in WWE and do something, but I'm sure people wanted to see the splits when they saw Melina. But next, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander went against Lucha House Party, which they lost to them, and MVP just trying to argue to both Cedric and Shelton Benjamin. Y'all, I'm embarrassed by this. Y'all need to get y'all shit together right now, and whatever this little bickering needs to go on, it needs to stop, okay? It needs to stop. So, we've been seeing this lately with Cedric and Shelton anyway, so we'll see where this goes. Tori Wilson was in the back talking to Nikki Cross. Tori still looks great. Going at the Garza. Garza tried to give her a rose, but Tori Wilson said, listen, man, I invited Cardi B, Kylie Jenner, and Ariana Grande here to the show. Okay, you can go find him in that room down the hall, which apparently I don't think he has a shot with any of them. Well, maybe I don't know, but as he went to this dark room, it ended up being the boogeyman. I don't know why they didn't have the music for it. He ran out there, scared by the boogeyman. Truth pinned him 24/7 title. He won again. He skipped away with Tori Wilson and them. Ron Simmons shows up and says, "Damn." What you could say about this show, damn. But in the main event, we did get Drew McIntyre, who did come out first to face Keith Lee, which are other legends right there, pretty much giving applause. Booker T, Jeff Jarrett, and others were there. I heard Carlito was supposed to be on this show, but I heard it was travel issues. But yes, we did get Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee in the main event. Well, this was a very good main event, I should say, but a lot of brutal bumps though. Keith Lee, man, this guy, I swear to God. First off, that freaking what was it? That damn power bomb through the table by Drew on Keith Lee, and like the edge of the table looked very deadly. Keith Lee just going beast mode out there, knocking Drew into the Thunderdome crowd, I should say. Um, that what was it? That freaking Spanish fly from the top rope, which looked fucking insane. Which he ended up in was going for a spirit bomb then right after that, but Drew ended up getting out of it. He pretty much ducked the clothesline, ran across the ropes, and hit the Claymore kick for the win. I think we all kind of expected that, but this was still a great match. Drew McIntyre won as he showed respect to Keith Lee and everything. What happens next? Goldberg comes out. And I'm sure as a lot of people would say, and my friend would say, a lot of the marks or the smarks are pissing their pants, are really pissed off right now to what they saw with Goldberg coming out, saying, he could have, Drew could have been better as a representative as WWE champion. And, he told McIntyre that, he has size, speed, athleticism, and whatnot, but you don't have my respect. And, you view the legends as all washed up, and, that he's better than them when they were in their prime, as Goldberg said he doesn't think that the legends pose a threat to him, but that's where he steps in, and he wasn't demanding anything, but he's a challenge at the Royal Rumble. As McIntyre went on and says, "Listen, man, I know what you're trying to do, get him to my head, but listen, you was the guy like 10, 20 years ago and whatnot, but fighting you like be fighting my own dad." As Goldberg pushed him to the ground, and it went off the air. So, folks, we got Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, most likely at the Royal Rumble, okay? The main event was really good between Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre, all right? Really good. But Goldberg now, okay. Now, I know it was rumored it was supposed to be Roman Reigns and Goldberg at WrestleMania, which possibility that could still happen and whatnot, but it could still happen. Listen, I'm sure there's not really anybody that wants to see this title match, or people are gonna say, "I'm not gonna watch this match. I'm not gonna watch this match." So, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they would have Goldberg win, because come on, this guy was the Universal Champion, which I find it kind of funny too. Is that why is he going after the WWE title when he lost the Universal title? Why doesn't he just go back for that? Okay, why are you going to a whole different? Who keeps giving Goldberg title shots every time he comes back? I'm not understanding that. So in a way, you gotta watch out, because he possibly could win. Hey, he beat the Fiend in that Saudi Arabia show last year, and look what happened. And he was supposed to face Roman, but then, Corona, and Roman, ended up not doing it. And then we had that match with Strowman, and it turned to a finisher fest. So don't be surprised if this turns into a finisher fest between Goldberg and Drew, which most likely will be a finisher fest also. Let's see, spear, Claymore kick, jackhammer, future shot DDT. Yeah, that's what I could see a lot of those happening in this. Okay, so yeah, I can possibly see that. I possibly could see a lot of that happening with Goldberg. It's a finisher fest, okay? But hey, man, knowing them, Goldberg, he possibly will win the title. But then again, they think Goldberg is a draw. So let's see where this goes. This show was up and down with this Legend show. Will they draw a rating? I have no idea. But we'll see what happens. Honestly, I was expecting Randy Orton to beat up a lot of these legends, but that didn't really happen also. Good match with Jeff Hardy, though, but he didn't really go and maim these legends or go Splinter Cell or burn them alive, okay? So I don't know. But hey, that's the first year Raw of the year for you. So I don't know what to expect out of this show. What do you think about this show? It was up and down, if you ask me. But we'll see what happens with this. But hey, folks, Goldberg's challenging for the title now at the Royal Rumble. So we'll see what happens with that, okay? But other than that, though, that's my review of Monday Night Raw. This is the first of the year Raw, so we'll see what happens in this whole show, okay? But other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. And I will be back most likely tomorrow at some time in the day for a Wrestle Kingdom 15 Night 2 review. Night 1 should be uploaded right now as I am speaking in this video. Hopefully it's uploaded as I'm speaking into this video. So I will be back for a Wrestle Kingdom review tomorrow, and we will be back tomorrow for Impact, okay? So I'm out here. Hopefully this gets uploaded sometime throughout the night. See you guys later. Peace out.